Well, round one of NBL1 South and West is one and done. Central is rolling and we've got oh so much to talk about. Hello and welcome to the NBL1 show. I'm Megan Hustwaite and this, everyone, is Peter Hooley.
Good to be here, and some massive individual performances, some big team wins, but a lot to talk about and cut to cross because there's a lot of going on around the country.
This is what we love. There is so much to talk about. We are underway. We're going to get through all of it today. We've got two big guests coming up as well who had big performances in round one, which we're going to chat about. But let's crack straight into NBL1 South Women's. There was so much happening on opening weekend. And let's start with Sandringham, 87-62 winners over Melbourne, and two Olympians.
Yeah,
just getting to work.
They're double-headed dragon, the Sandringham Sabres. Rachel Jarry, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Jenna O'Hay, 27 points and 10 rebounds. They're going to be the main two catalysts all year, and they'll be happy to get the win and get off to a strong start. Pretty
nice anytime you can welcome the Australian Opals captain into your team in the year of an Olympics. I think she's playing 8 to 10 games, but she is going to absolutely pack a punch when she's there. Let's move on now to another team that we're expecting big things from this season. It's Frankston, and they started with a 90-78 victory over the Nunawading Spectres. Darcy Garvin, 30 points and 6 rebounds, and Tessa Lavey.
Well, Tessa Lavey, she had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Little triple-double watch there for the gun point guard. Those two are going to be extremely fun to watch together because they're going to play in the 1-2 game a lot with little pick and roll. Darcy Garvin's ability to shoot the 3 as well. So Frankston are going to be one to watch.
Has Tessa Lavey had any sleep? She's gone from the WNBL hub into a debut season with Richmond, straight into NBL1, which we love, but she's like the Energizer Bunny.
It's the Monique Conti effect, isn't it? Because Monique Conti just plays everything and at such a high level. So she's doing it. She's managing to have some really good games.
She sure is. And finally, the Eltham Wildcats were 82-51 winners over the Ringwood Hawks. Lily Scanlon is back from college, 17 points and 6 rebounds, and that is a big in.
It is, for sure. To come back in after college and put up that kind of performance, there'd be a little bit of nerves, a little bit of pressure, but you come in, get a nice win, have a game like that, and all of a sudden you're just looking forward to the next game.
How's this for a stat line? 26 rebounds and 26 points from Annalee Mylee. We know she's the rebounding machine, and she's our special guest this week on the show. Hello, Annalee.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Now, you had 26 rebounds and 26 points on the weekend in Eltham's big win. I want to know, were you most happy about having as many points as boards?
I didn't realise I had that many rebounds until the end of the game. I guess the ball just always ended up in my head. So I think I was as surprised as everybody else was, to be honest. But
you say you're surprised. Now, I called a lot of the WNBL. Now, you are a rebounding magnet. So there's naturally good rebounders, but some of the stat lines you put up in WNBL with rebounds and now first game of the NBL1, what is the mindset like for you when you go into a game?
I think for me, it's I just don't take any plays off when it comes to like the hustle or going at the boards, because especially now, because people scout me as a rebounder, like sometimes I get 1 or 2 people boxing me out, but if I go to the boards 10 times, I'm not going to get boxed out every single time. There's going to be one time that they forget. So I guess for me, it's just a mindset that if I go every single time, by the 4th quarter, people are going to get tired and they're not going to want to continue to box me out.
Well, you have that tag now as an elite rebounder. So when you see your schedule coming up, do you look through the roster and think, oh, I'm in for a big one here. There's no one who can box me out. I'm going to run absolute rings around these guys.
Well, you know, I try to have the mindset that no one can box me out anyway. I try not to look at the roster and how big everyone is and what talent there is on the other team to stop me. I guess, like, when it comes to rebounding, I try and keep the same mentality across the board to just always go at it. And if something comes into my way, just try and find a way around it, I guess.
Is scoring a string that you want to add to your bow during this campaign in NBL1?
Absolutely. I think that in the NBL1 in 2019, I got the opportunity to explore myself as a scorer. And hopefully this season I can build on that and add some more things to my arsenal, because I think the off season is all about working on your skills and implementing new things into your game. So I'm hoping to build off that. Yeah, I think that the scoring for me is something that I've been working really hard on adding into my game. So yeah.
Well, season opener, playing in front of your own fans for once. And our WNBL hub was neutral sites, not as many of just the Sydney Uni Flames fans. What was it like being running back out there? It's been a long time since NBL1 has been playing, and the fans are there. You see all the young Eltham jerseys running around. Must have felt pretty cool.
Yeah, so Eltham is my home club. Like it's 2 minutes down the road. Like I grew up there. Like probably spent more time at Eltham Basketball Stadium than I did anywhere else growing up. So it was a really cool feeling for me to run out on my home court like that. And I train a lot of the kids in the juniors programs, and I'm really involved in the community around there. So it was just a really cool feeling for me, like a full circle moment to be able to play on my home court. Like there's really no other feeling like it.
And with COVID wiping out basketball last year, you've had to wait a bit longer to return to the court for your home club, and it must be exciting to be able to represent them in this top tier.
Oh, absolutely. I think that COVID for so many people was so difficult, and especially for all the juniors out there that didn't have the opportunity to step on the court and play the game that they love and the social aspect and everything. So even just walking around there after school hours and seeing the junior competitions kicking back up again, and there's just like a real buzz around basketball at the moment. And like the stadium was packed, like all the juniors wanted to come to the senior games, and there's just like a streamlined support. And a lot of the younger girls that we have on our team were all Eltham juniors as well. So it's really like a family there, and yeah, no, it was awesome.
Now, off-season training for you is a bit different to everybody else in the NBL1 because you do a lot of 3x3 stuff, part of the national squad for Australia in 3x3. What do you take? What's the carryover from a 3x3 game and training and preparation for that? Then you go play in a normal NBL1 game. Anything that carries over, or do you treat them both completely different?
Oh, no, I think that since I've started 3x3, my 5-on-5 game has excelled. I think that it really gives you the tools to be able to work on those one-on-one breakdown stuff, and it like leveled up my offensive game like nothing else. And I think that when you're training in 3x3, obviously there's like no fouls, like it's very physical and it's very fast paced, and you can't hide your weaknesses. Like it's a fast-paced game, so when you get it, you have to be able to shoot, you have to be able to drive, you have to be able to pass. So I think that in the 3x3 trainings and the games that we play against each other and stuff, I think that it has equipped me with the skills to carry over to 5-on-5. And the more 3x3 I do, the more comfortable I feel with like my one-on-one game in a 5-on-5 situation, as well as, you know, the fitness that you get from a 3x3 game and the ability to finish through physicality. There's just so many benefits that I carry over from one to the other. Yeah.
So you've been very busy with the 3x3. You've had camps and lots of preparation for the Olympics, but more so your qualifying tournament over the last couple of months. How's it been going, and what does the upcoming schedule look like?
So we just finished our second camp. We were lucky enough to go up to the the COE in Canberra and use the facilities up there. And then most recently we trained out at Hoop City, and we were very lucky to use the facilities there over the weekend. And it's very rare that we get to all be in the same place, but us Melbourne girls, we link up and do a couple sessions a week when we can. And really everyone's just seems to be working out all the time, really working on their skills. And it's really awesome when we can all get together and have camps. Moving forward, I think that the squad going to Austria gets announced soon. But yeah, so I think that we have an amazing chance to qualify for the Olympics, and we're such a very talented group of girls, and the extended squad, like we're just, we all get along so well, and it's an amazing culture to be a part of.
One of your fellow squad members is your partner, Marina Whittle, and you were opponents on the weekend. You took the bragging rights. I want to know, was there a bit of sledging? You know, you don't do the dishes, you don't pick up the dog poo. Like, take us through what happened out there.
Well, I mean, so we've been playing against each other for like 3 years now, and as weird as this sounds, when we both have the worst case of white line fever, so as soon as we step on the court, we almost forget that we're playing against each other. And it's not till the game's over that I'm like, all right, well, depending on who wins, I'll probably have to buy dinner if I win, you know. Like, but I mean, it's just basketball. We leave it on the court, and I don't think the bragging rights carry over. I think we're at even now because she beat me a few times when she was playing at Knox. So we have a rematch in a couple of weeks, the Eltham Ringwood rematch, and I'm sure she'll be fired up for that one.
Before we let you go, can we set a challenge? 30 rebounds seems in sight for you.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to set the challenge that we want to see a 30 rebound game. And if you happen to put up 30 points as well, then it's going to be...
You can host this show.
Absolutely. But you've done extremely well so far. Thank you so much for joining us, and I think you're ready for a big season.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Thank you.
Let's move on now to NBL1 South, the key results in round one of the men's competition. Plenty happening. Pete, your Nuttall Spectres getting a big first up win, 94-83 over Frankston.
Yeah, big win. Fortunately, I couldn't get to play or watch. I was working, but that is a big win. We know what Frankston are going to be able to put together. Still missing a few pieces, but it was sold out down there. It looked like a really good environment. Dane Swatala had a big game, 30-plus points, and then Dave Anderson, he's back out there. The full circle story. What a great story.
Isn't it the best story? And Dave Anderson has been killing it on social media with the where it started, where it is now, you know, the throwback pics. 26 years in between games for Frankston, and we love this stuff in NBL1.
The only thing that really changed was got a bit longer hair this year, because the throwback clip in his early days of Frankston, I thought that was training last week. That's what it looked like. Same little, it gets to the same spot, doesn't miss those jumpers, and gets to the free throw line.
Benjamin Button, we love it. We can't wait to see what he does this season. My homeboys, your former homeboys, Ballarat 81-73 winners over Albury Wodonga, and two pretty big performances there.
Oh, massive. Dave O'Hickey, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He's a star. He's going to come into this league ready to put up some big numbers and push for an NBL spot. Look forward to talking to him at some point this season. Denga Kuth, another one, has the NBL experience. 22 points and 18 rebounds. That's a big win over Albury Wodonga. That's a tough road trip for anyone to go up there and put in a performance like that. Brendan Joyce said they grinded one out, and they'll be happy to be able to come home with that win.
Another thing we'll be doing on the show this year is the radar, and that is Ray Turner watch.
Oh, well, Ray Turner, he's just been Mr. Consistent for Bendigo, beating Mount Gambier 95-82. He had 20 points and 14 rebounds. He's just a double-double machine. But good to see Mount Gambier back in the NBL1 South and running around at the old ice house. Low rims down there, so that's where I've got a couple of dunks. That's probably the only place I can get in touch the rim anymore.
We'll have to check the fixture and see...
I'll have to make sure I'm available for that game.
Yeah,
that's
hopefully.
Sure.
We'll spend probably the whole episode afterwards going through your highlights, so we very much look forward to that.
What if there's only one highlight? I haven't played for a few years.
We can just play it
Replay
over and over and over and over. Let's move on to NBL1 West and take a look at some of the big opening results there. And it was the Senators going 2-0 on a big weekend with wins over Perth and the Southwest Slammers. Yeah,
Justin King was massive. 15 points and 14 rebounds versus Perth, and then 18 points and 7 rebounds versus Southwest. That's a big performance, and a lot of doubleheader games will be across the season. So for you to back up a strong performance in one game and then straight back the next day with another one's going to be huge. Caleb Davis, 35 points and 11 rebounds versus Southwest. That's another big double-double.
Willetton Tigers 96-87 victors over the Lakeside Lightning.
Michael Vigor, he's back in the league playing for Willetton, 22 points and 12 rebounds. Played in the English League for a few years as well. And Damien Scott, 21 points, 6 assists, 2 big performances for them. And
Joondalup had a huge win to get started, 98-57 winners over the East Perth Eagles.
That's a big win to start your season. That's a confidence builder, knowing that makes you want to play the next weekend. You want the next game in a couple of days' time because they're obviously feeling pretty good.
One of the key playmakers in that big win was our guest this week on the show, Lochlan Cummings. Welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Tell us about this historic first night for your team in NBL1 West.
Yeah, it was a really good night. The club put on a really good show. You can definitely see just how much has gone into this year in the NBL1 as a whole across all states. So it was really good to see. It was a really good night.
Well, what are the expectations for the team this season? You start off with a pretty good win. NBL1 West, the first time they're in the NBL1 umbrella, so to be able to take it all the way would definitely be a massive achievement. What are the expectations you guys have set for yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, we set ourselves pretty high expectations. We felt really good about the team that we have and everyone we've put together, from the coaching staff all the way through the players. So we have pretty good high expectations of ourselves, and we think we can do something pretty special this year.
Now, unlike a lot of players in NBL1 around the country, you actually played last year in the West Coast Classic and you guys got to the semi-finals. So do you feel like you've been able to take some momentum personally from that into this season? You did have 30 points, 6 assists and 4 boards in round 1.
Yeah, playing last year definitely helped. Knowing a lot of the country didn't have organised games, so to be able to play in something like the West Coast Classic was really good to just keep game touch and things like that carrying on into this year.
Now, former Perth Wildcats development player, you learnt from one of the best sporting organisations in the world in the Perth Wildcats, but played with and trained with some elite players. You've got the defensive masterclass specialist, Damien Martin, and then a scoring specialist, Bryce Cotton. How was that overall experience, and what did you learn from everybody part of the Wildcats?
I learned so much. It's such a great organisation, and to be able to be a part of that for the time that I did was really, really good. To learn from, as you said, those guys like Damo and Bryce and everyone, really, I learned so much from everyone. I was just trying to be a sponge and soak up as much as I could because seriously, I could not learn enough. It was a really good experience, and I definitely took a lot away from that.
What about off the court? Damien Martin, he likes to be a self-appointed coffee connoisseur. I'm not sure if you're a coffee guy, but he judges people based on their coffee orders. Was there a bit of that going on?
There was no judgment, but definitely I learned a little bit about coffee. The man drinks coffee like there's no tomorrow, and I do like a good coffee myself.
And what's your order?
Just an almond latte.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, don't mind the almond milk.
That's
pretty standard.
Now, is that a goal? Is that what you're going to use NBL1 West for? Your goal, you want to get back in the NBL, have another shot?
Yeah, definitely. I put a lot of work in this off season after the West Coast Classic, and I think that's definitely the goal for me. It's what I've been pushing for, and continuing to do the work to get there.
You were actually going to play with Bendigo before last season was called off in NBL1, but can you tell us a bit about why you have decided to stay out west? Is that on the back of last year's tournament?
Yeah. I mean, when that all got cancelled pretty abruptly, it was a bit of a shock, and so I still wanted to play. I didn't want to sit out those 6-7 months, and because the West Coast Classic was running here, Joondalup messaged me and asked me if I wanted to come down, and I really enjoyed the season I had last year, and that's why it carried on to this year. It's a really good club, really professional, and I really enjoyed my time there last year and wanted to carry it on to this year and see if we could go all the way. Can
you talk a little bit about your mindset going into this season? Because a lot of players in a similar boat to you have had those little sprinkles of NBL experience, want to get on the radar, want to get back there. Because there's a fine line of being able to go out there and perform at your highest level, but then putting a little bit too much pressure on yourself. What is your mindset each and every week?
It's pretty simple, really. I just want to go out there and play the best basketball I can, helping my team win, and doing all that I can on the court, defensively, offensively, both ends. I just want to do what I can to help my team win. Not really thinking too much about putting the pressure on myself, so to speak, of what's to come next. Just trying to stay in the moment, really, and just take each game as it comes.
Well, you did all you could to help your team to a victory in round 1 over East Perth. How important is early season momentum?
Yeah, really important. It's important to get a good start. I think we did that in round 1, and I think it's just going to have to carry over into next game and the next game and the next game to build that momentum and keep it rolling.
Well, we look forward to watching it continue into the next game and the next game and the next game. It's been great to catch up with you today. We loved your performance in round 1. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Time now to whip through the NBL1 West women's competition, and it was the Coburn Cougars 85-78 winners over the Rockingham Flames.
Jessie Edwards was huge, 19 points, 9 rebounds. You've got to sneak in an extra rebound there. We'll just have a chat to the statistician, get that double-double. Molly Matthews, former Ballarat Rush star, 16.6 rebounds moving out west, had a good game.
Mac Dyer, how about this stat line from the Perth Star in 95-78 victory over Warwick.
30 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. That is a massive stat line and another big win to kick off their campaign.
Mary Golding, we saw her in action for Bendigo during the WNBL season. She's playing for East Perth and she had a pretty good opening weekend for them as they beat Mandurah.
Double-doubles galore across the country, 18 points and 12 rebounds. And Jade Gowland as well, 16 points and 10 rebounds. Whenever you have two players in one team get a double-double, you're probably going to go a long way to getting that win.
We like that. Round 2 of NBL1 Central. Let's take a look at the women's results. Forestville 68-65 winners over Norwood. That was a thriller and Amy Brett was the game winner.
Game winner, about 40 seconds to go. Nice little tough layup through traffic, and Sam Simmons for Forestville had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. And how's this for a big win? Sturt 134 defeated Central Districts 39. Jade Johnson 38 points and 6 assists. If you get any assists when you're putting up over 30 points, you're an overall elite player.
Well, JJ nearly beat the Central Districts off her own hand.
Well, just noticed, you're exactly right. She lost on her, individually lost by 1.
We'll be on JJ watch as well if that's what she's going to produce in the upcoming weeks. And South Adelaide 103-75 victors over the Eastern Mavericks. These two names, we're going to hear plenty of them this season.
Well, we heard about them in round 1. Olivia Thompson, 27 points, 17 rebounds, and Ashley Spencer, 19 points, 12 rebounds. They are the two-headed dragon for the Panthers and got the job done once again.
Are we the two-headed dragon for the NBL1 show?
If you want to be self-appointed with that, we can run with it.
Okay.
I'll back it.
We're going with it. Let's take a look now at the NBL1 Central men's results. It was Woodville winners over North Adelaide 95-61 and a double-double and a close double-double.
Julian Jacobs, double-double, just missed out on a triple-double, 1 rebound shy, 18, 9 and 11. And Joe Jackson had 18 and 12, another big win for Woodville.
South Adelaide, well, we just talked about the women's having putting triple figures on the scoreboard, and it was the case in the men's as well. 105 to the Forestville Eagles, 82.
Todd Davies, 25 points. That's a good little outing from him.
And what about this from Sam Daly in Sturt's victory over Central Districts, 87-70?
18 points, 6 assists for the former Sydney Kings development player, so he's going to be in for a big season.
All right, it is time for Team of the Week. We love this time of the week. Let's start with the women, Pete Hooley.
Well, we'll start over in the West. Emma Clestorny, 29 points, 10 rebounds in their first game. Followed it up against then East Perth with 12 points and 12 rebounds. 2 double-doubles in a weekend. You will sleep well after that weekend. Big outing.
Could still be sleeping for all we know. Keely Froling just launching into this competition in round 1. 42 points, 22 rebounds. We love ourselves a Froling. You get a feeling we're going to be talking about the Twins a lot this season.
Well, we talk about it a lot, don't we? And Froling on both the women's and the men. That family battle 2 versus 2, the women are going to win a lot of those games. Those two can flat out play, but massive opening game for Keely Froling. Back to the Central for Team of the Week, number 3, Emily Winter, 18 points and 20 rebounds. We got some rebounding magnets around the country.
Yeah, we should have a rebounding competition. Get Annalee in there.
There's going to be a few.
Okay, we might organise an event. Jade Johnson, our girl. We're going to trademark her. Our girl, of course, 38.6 assists.
She was always going to find herself in Team of the Week when, as you said, fell 1 point shy of beating the team on her own, who finished with 39 points, the Central Districts. She had 38 and 6. And then to round out Team of the Week, our guest, what a massive line that is. Annalee Mylee for Eltham, 26 points and 26 rebounds. And it was just good to hear her mindset about now she's trying to evolve her offensive game. We know what she does on the glass, but everyone knows that now going in. You've still got to be able to stop her. And after game 1, it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
We're expecting her to be with a new club in the WNBL, so I think a lot of eyes are on Annalee Maley and we'll be on that stat line. Let's head into the Team of the Week for the men, and Caleb Davis gets us underway.
Well, big game. Big 2 games for him. 18 points and 7 rebounds versus Perth, and then versus Southwest, the 35 points, 11 rebounds again. Anytime you can have 2 massive performances in a double game weekend is always going to get you probably close to a Team of the Week selection. And that's a big start for him in the season. And coming in, as we spoke about, Davo Hickey, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Now, he can flat out go, and he's going to find himself on a lot of NBL team radars this year.
Yeah, Rat represent. You and I, with our links to Ballarat, we are on the Davo Hickey train, that is for sure.
Absolutely.
Julian Jacobs from Woodville, 18 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. That is one nice stat line.
That's when you've got to, if there's a free throw, if someone's stolen one of his rebounds at any point in this game, they owe him coffees for the rest of the year because falling 1 rebound shy, you'd be so flat. That deserved a triple-double, massive performance.
Number 4 in Team of the Week, that's a nice stat line too.
It is. CJ Turnage, we're going to see him a lot, I think. 37 points and 9 rebounds. He is an absolute superstar. I've seen him in the league for a couple of years now and just puts up big numbers. He's so tough to guard, strong body, gets to the hoop at will. It's a nice little way to get into the Team of the Week this week. And then finish it up. Another one of our guests, Lochlan Cummings, the 30 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Didn't give us much about what he learned from Damien Martin and Bryce Cotton, but if you can take one piece of advice from each of those, you're going to be in really good stead going forward in your basketball career. You've got an elite defensive player and an elite offensive player. So he's had the benefit of picking the brains of 2 of the best we've seen over the last few years. So he's going to have a big season.
And he's got a good coffee order too. That was really what we took out of that chat, was Damien Martin being the coffee police.
Yeah, he is, and I'm a coffee police as well. So I'm so glad he just said an almond latte. Anything else?
Are you an almond latte?
No, I'm just a regular extra hot
latte.
I like it extra hot too, though. But
Okay.
if you go anything further than that, if we start getting into 10 syllables, 10 words for a coffee order, I can't be friends with you.
Tempered milk. I might bring the coffees next week, so just
Deal.
a regular latte for you.
Extra hot, and I'm all happy.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us on the NBL1 show. We're so happy to have pretty much all our conferences underway. North to join us in a couple of weeks. But until then, make sure you're following us on all the socials. Where can they find us, Pete?
At all NBL1 socials, you've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and there's some elite highlights coming on Instagram. So you want to make sure you're following the NBL1 page on Instagram.
Stay across all the action this weekend. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.